I'm Tilly.
And I'm Alicia.
And welcome to Crikey, it's the Woman's.
See, that sounds a little bit better for you this time. Alright, so today we're running late with videos. You could probably tell I don't have my voice back fully. I lost my voice for nearly 2 weeks. So
she's been dying.
Yeah, apparently. It just coughs the whole 9 yards. Fevers, everything. It just can go away now.
She literally just did it like 5 seconds ago.
Shush. What? Anyway, so since our Hulu show video, the church has released a press release in regards to media in general and their portrayal of us Latter-day Saints. So, if you want to go at it and let me breathe.
Okay, so the title of this press release is Commentary when entertainment media distorts faith.
So the general gist of it is that faith in general is not represented kindly in any media outlet. Ours in particular, they obviously made reference, they didn't name names or anything, but, the Hulu show, both of them actually, because there's also Under the Banner of Heaven, and what was the other one? Oh, there's a new movie coming out called The Heretic, and it portrays two sister missionaries. They get lured into Hugh Grant's house, and it's some horror movie thing. I am not going to be watching it, not just because it's an LDS, thing, but I do not watch horror movies.
Neither do I. Last time I saw a horror movie, I scared myself half to death. Yeah.
So is there any parts of that sort of you wanted to amplify, or did I, in your opinion, did I write it down pretty quick? Pretty accurate?
Some portrayals are fair and accurate, but others retort to stereotypes or gross misrepresentations that are in poor taste and have real life consequences for people of faith.
Yeah. And they're right, because they do mention about putting our volunteer missionaries safety at risk, and that would be in reference to the heretic.
Yes.
Because there are parts of the world and where missionaries have actually been kidnapped and ransomed, just because they're Americans, or they're assumed to be Americans, and all the things that come with that. So, I mean, for me, I think where I've noticed it the most is that we are a homeschool family. I homeschool my youngest daughter, and I did homeschool the teens through COVID and stuff. And one thing I noticed when I was trying to find curriculum and learning the ropes of homeschooling and stuff, I came across The Good and the Beautiful, and I absolutely adore it. Like, I have found it so useful teaching multitudes of neurospicy children, and I have 5, so it catered to everybody. But just in general, like, you type in The Good and the Beautiful on YouTube, and you are guaranteed to get some anti-Mormon Fruit Loop, carrying on how it's not a Christian curriculum, it's not this, it's not that. Now, I have done my research, and more for the academic side of it than the religious background, than anything, because I do believe, curriculum shouldn't be there to teach religion, and that should be on the family if you're going to homeschool. But, simply because the founder of The Good and Beautiful happens to be a member of our church, people have degraded the curriculum, despite how good it is, how in-depth it is, how well it caters to the neurospices and the neurotypicals and all the things, purely because the founder is a Mormon. The curriculum gets ran through the ringer left and right and declared not Christian enough for some Christian homeschool expos or whatever you guys, conventions or whatever you guys Americans call them over there.
Which is a whole bunch of poppycock.
Well, the thing with the good and the beautiful in particular is, during my research, I came across how the curriculum is actually written, and to keep it Christian neutral, she has Seventh-day Adventist, she has Catholic, she has Baptist, she has Protestant, she has Evan, she has, what are some of the other ones? She has tried to cover every denomination possible and has someone from those denominations working for her who edits. That gets written out and then it goes through all of these people to edit it to ensure that no one doctrine is paramount over the other. The general gist is it's a very base level, God, Jesus gave us a beautiful world type narrative within the curriculum, the good and the beautiful, hence the name. It's a very beautiful curriculum and very in-depth. You're doing one of the book studies at the moment on Pride and Prejudice, which I don't even think I did a book study on Pride and Prejudice, 20, 30 years ago when I was at school. So the fact that she actually is trying to get these kids learning those classics, because one of the other ones is Little Men and the Screwtape Letters. And that's just the book studies for the high school kids. But just to see the way this poor woman's company they've attempted to destroy simply because she happens to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is disgusting. And the way, how to put it, even when, like, you look at a lot of the TV shows that might mention a Mormon, or, we're painted very culty or very crazy, or, Big Love. I remember that one. That was my first introduction to what I thought was the Mormon church. I didn't know. Growing up in country Australia, I only knew what my mother taught me.
And she was Catholic.
Exactly. I didn't really know of other denominations growing up. Like, I knew, like, friends of mine that were of a different denomination, and Church of England was the other one, because my stepdad was Church of England.
He was?
Yes. He's...
I thought he was Catholic.
No. It wasn't until, like, I left home, and then that show, aired on TV, and I'm like, okay, is this what they really believe? And yeah, it was just a funny, stupid show to watch, and didn't think much of it. And then, what was it? Who was it? Sister Wives came on a few years later, and that sort of portrayal. And like, they're offshoots. They're very much woohoos off on their own tangent of Mormon doctrine. Nowhere near what mainstream Mormons believe these days and stuff. And it's something that, perusing YouTube and, I sent you screenshots. Huh. Well, that's not going to work. Perusing YouTube, I came across another person's like, not having a go, but like, I use Good and the Beautiful and blah blah, and she went on the tangent about the church, and just her perception of what we believe was so way out there, and so I jumped in the comments just to see what there was in there, and see if any other members jumped on, and there was a few that, sort of kind of corrected her, but like, not really. And then I sort of read the comments and just saw the anti starting the garbage and the lies, and I screenshot them from my phone, which is what's being used to film, by the way, and send them to Tilly so that I could read them, but didn't get there. So I jumped on and just said straight out on there, this is more for the sake of the aunties and the exes and whatever who are trying to spread lies in your comment section and give actual accurate information for those that are genuinely curious as to what we actually believe. We don't believe in the Trinity. It's not in the Bible anywhere, so there's no biblical truth to the Trinity.
Yeah, we don't do this whole whatever Jesus, Holy Ghost stuff I had to do at Catholic school.
And I wish that screenshot had worked, because it was actually very, very beautifully written for my dyslexic brain. But yeah, so like that might be something we might cover in future videos, is what we actually believe and what we do from there, sort of thing. But I don't, like, what have you seen in the media from a teen perspective? Like, are there any shows that you've seen that I wouldn't necessarily watch that might portray us a certain way, or? I mean, Living Scriptures doesn't count because that's LDS. So.
That's LDS through and through. I'm sorry to all actors that actually are Latter-day Saints, but some of you really need to work on your acting. Just saying.
Okay.
But totally off topic there, sorry. But like
I must admit, like, and that's just anything though, like mainstream Christian movies can be just as bad.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's just Christian movies.
I mean, you never knew about the Book of Mormon stage production until I mentioned it to you today, hey? And then I played a video for you of the opening, it was the Tonys thing for it years and years and years ago now. Because you're into, stage production stuff. I mean, you're a diehard Hamilton freak. Is the best way to describe you. Like, you can quote that through and through.
Not to mention High School Musical, all three, and like a few other movies.
Harry Potter.
That's not really musical, but yes, I can quote Harry Potter. Like, yeah, I had heard in passing about, like, oh, there's this new Broadway show, it's called The Book of Mormon. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really get into it too much. I guess because I was already a member of the church, and I knew that, like, Broadway and all that stuff, like, just American people that aren't members of the church really don't like us, and they've
So you already wrote it off that it was going to be an anti thing.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be some sort of, like, idiotic anti-Mormon bullcrap sort of musical, and what I saw today,
it was the opening song, Hello, and done for the Tonys. I found it funny, but I have a very, very sick sense of humour. I mean, I'm a firefighter.
Yeah,
so, like,
that does not help at all.
For me, I have a very black sense of humour, and that's just part and parcel of being a firefighter, I guess. But it was funny, though.
I was yelling, boo, get off the stage, you're idiots. Because they are.
Like, when you think about it, I mean, you're only 17, so you're still a kid or whatever, like.
Only for 6 more months. Just saying.
Yeah. But to us older people, that is what a lot of the missionaries look like to us, because they are kids still to us. They are still pimply and gorky and,
nerdy.
Yes.
And very.
I mean, like,
LDS.
I said straight out, like, we have a board game shop here in our town, and like he sells like Dungeons and Dragons and the Warhammer and all that sort of stuff as well. And I went in there because the girls were into that stuff, and I went looking for something in particular for them, and the entire store was full of elders, like straight out everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, And talking to the owner the last couple of weeks, he said they get them in all the time. And going by the Discord that I'm in, we have a D&D section, and it is like it's only been like that channel has only been created like this week, and I've already lost count of the amount of messages in there because it's just gone nuts, and I just think it's great because the girls have gotten me into that stuff as well. But yeah, it's we can be nerdy, but at the same time, you've still got your jocks. Like I know a couple of the missionaries that have come through in the 10 years that I've been a member have been quite, you know, beefy, manly, jockey, you know, that kind of thing, and as opposed to being nerdy, gurky, and
So they've been jocks, but they weren't like the jerks.
Yep.
Jocks, they were the Christian,
And then
very
that's-
nice boys.
and
that
that's
are
one
very,
thing I
very
will say
rare.
for members. Like I have gone
Like
through.
Will Wagner in Avalon High, he was a jock.
I have no idea what you're talking
I'll show you later.
about. Righto.
No.
Yeah. But one thing I will, you know, say that I've noticed, LDS are very kind and very sweet. And even if you are a jock, you're still very nice and you're still very sweet. And,
Like, if you accidentally bump into somebody, you're not going to laugh at them if they drop their books. You're going to literally just bend over and pick up all their books
and
go,
that should
"Are
be
you
common
okay?"
sense and just common courtesy, but that doesn't exist these days. But, you know, in the world that I work in, and currently are a part of, I'm finding a lot of LDS and former LDS that still hold that caring and
Very gentlemanly, like that.
well, they're females, so
Or
but
like, you know, how typically
you could tell that they were raised a certain way, you know, and given what part of Western Sydney we live in, they stick out like dog's balls.
ain't that the truth? I'm sorry,
I
but
love my neighbourhood. I will say I do love my neighbourhood and my little town that I currently am stuck living in. But I am a country girl, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the city, and I ain't coping too well. After 20 years of being here, I need to go back to the bush. Thanks.
yeah.
But you know that will come in its time.
LDS are very, how do I put this? Their mannerisms are like from King George the Fifth time, or even his grandmother, Queen Victoria.
What are you on now? Are you still on that bloody book?
Well,
I don't know. We're not going down that road. We're not starting you on your tangents.
well, in those days, men and women were very polite and like, "How do you do, sir?"
Yeah.
"Oh, yes, how
And
do you do?"
you kind of get that. I mean, I ran into someone after I parked the car yesterday at the hospital, and I was on my way in to getting to where you are for your dialysis and stuff. I got chatting to a random bloke that was doing the signs for like the real estate agents and stuff, because the poor bugger has had to go through and replace almost every single sign after that ridiculous wind that came through on Monday.
Oh yeah.
So he and I had a good little chat, and very nice and whatever, and you know, that kind of thing. We fist pumped, and I went on my way, and he kept wrestling his damn sign and everything. And he's actually had to replace every single one of those original signs for ones that are more wind sturdy. The poor thing. And that's how I see most Latter-day Saints, is that they will stop and have a chat, which is not something that really happens these days, I find.
No, it's like you're walking down the street and you accidentally like make eye contact with some random dude, and he'd be like, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah, that tracks for our town. 100%.
Like-
Or they try to attack and then regret
They
that
keep walking or you're gonna lose your fingers, something like that.
or face or whatever. And that's just part and parcel with where we live, unfortunately. But, you know.
But like even in those like, even in Kempsey, some of those people.
Oh, we won't even go there with that place, because that's just as bad as here these days, unfortunately. And that's just the way society is going. So I'm quite happy to live in my bubble of the LDS, and I do like the way that our church does the ward boundaries and stuff, because you've got people around the corner. I mean, you've gone from living with your dad in the last 2 weeks to living with me, and I know we're missing some furniture items that you need, and your clothes are stuck in storage because your dad's got everything in storage at the moment. So, I just rang my ministering sister and said, hey, we need this, and we need this, and maybe this, and anything else that someone can think of that I'm currently not thinking of, because I was in the throes of the fevers and everything, trying to learn all the medical stuff that I hadn't been kept up on, and trying to get you sorted, and all the things, and she just took it and ran with it, and is trying to organise everything that we absolutely need, including blessings, and our whole bishop came and gave us all blessings because we've all been sick for so long, on his wife's birthday, mind you, and I'm like, dude, you didn't need to do that, like, thank you for coming, but, like, surely someone else could have come and done it.
It's like, it's your wife's birthday, dude!
Calm down.
But, like...
But still, that's just how we are. I've never, ever been a part of a church that cared about each other to the same degree as what we do. Can you stop fidgeting?
Sorry.
And I've had that in the other 2 wards as well, when, we've been sick, and when you first got diagnosed with your renal failure and, things like that.
And when we moved from New Plains to Lewiston, literally, like,
we had in New Plains people come and pack the house up and fill the truck up, and then we had people in the new ward that we hadn't even met yet be at the house ready to go to unload and help set the house up and all that kind of stuff. And
I just remember...
and I know there are certain other YouTube channels that will make fun of the elders quorum and stuff like that thing, but it is generally something that I've not seen
I just
anywhere
remember
else.
this sweetest elderly lady from New Plains Ward. It's like, it's the only part of the packing I can really distinctly remember. She came with like a whole bunch of other people, and she helped me.
Sister Lord?
I
Very small, skinny,
not
my height or
she
your
was
height.
she was pretty plump at the time.
Okay, not the one I was thinking of then.
But she was very sweet, and she helped me pack up my books exactly how I wanted them to be. And it was just like,
Oh, you and your bloody books.
I was just like, I can't believe we're moving out of this ward.
I know. But we did move into a pretty great ward.
We did. Yeah.
So, and we were there for the longest time, even when we weren't active. I know they would, knock on the door and stuff. I think the hardest part as well for you was that you went to school out of area, so you weren't at school with other church kids. And that's the thing about moving here.
We went to Catholic schools towards the end.
You did. But they were a better education option.
Yeah, and there
Pre-homeschool.
were as many boys, which was my problem.
Yeah. Because apparently being brown-eyed and freckled is a thing to be bullied these days. But,
They were blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Okay, so they were Barbies.
Pretty much. Well, no, actually, one of them was like a brunette with brown eyes, I think.
Whatever.
But she was a real.
Anyway, and like now that you're getting transferred to this high school here, because you don't want to homeschool, you want to go to actual school.
I'm sorry, but I cannot physically, mentally retain anything from homeschooling.
Well, you're doing all right with the schoolwork we're doing today while we wait for your enrollment.
Yeah, I've noticed I work better in a classroom environment with other people.
So you can annoy them.
Pretty much.
With your random facts about the royal family.
Yep, pretty much.
From like 300 years ago.
Actually, Queen Victoria was
she wasn't 300.
She was about 100. She died at the turn of the last century.
Yeah.
She died in 1901.
Okay. Anyway. But at least in this new, here, going to this high school, you're going to have other church kids go to this school with you. So it's going to be a bit easier for you to stick with your own people and not get, how to put it, workified. Because you started to go very wokey for a while there while you were an XMO. And I wanted to wring your neck so hard with some of the garbage that was coming out of your mouth. But that is your generation, so it is what it is.
I think our generation is, it's,
We have gone way off topic here.
oh yeah.
And we've been going for 25 minutes.
Well,
Way off topic.
we are so bad.
But okay, you've made a friend at the hospital the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And what is his religion?
He's full-blown Maltese Catholic.
Okay. And
Like,
did
where's
he have an issue? Like, he brought the subject up of religion, did he?
Yeah, because we were just talking about traditions between our two cultures. Like, I'm very outward spoken when it comes to Scottish traditions and the culture and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you were.
And I was very,
Well, you were never raised anywhere near it, but anyway.
I was very curious about like his culture. So I asked him like, you know,
And that's a good way to be.
what's your traditions? And he was like, oh, like what's your religion? I was like, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And he's like, so Catholic? And I was like, no, Mormon. And he's like, oh, okay, just as long as you follow Jesus, that's okay.
He's such a sweet little kid.
Oh, he is. He's very sweet.
He's only 14.
I know. Nemo is very sweet.
I'm not asking. Anyway, since we've been going at 25 minutes, we might start to wrap it up. What do you think?
Yeah, we've completely.
Because we've still got several other videos to film tonight, because I want to try and get filmed ahead so that if I get sick again, or you get sick again, or you get transplant, we're a bit ahead
I
in
didn't
our
actually
videos.
get sick.
I'm going to hurt you. I like this. That's so not fair.
I'm like the only person.
And you're the one who's like, we're all scared of getting sick because...
Yeah, exactly. When we went up to Queensland with Dad, like after we were like out in the rain at SeaWorld, I was like, I'm definitely going to be the first person sick. No, it was my sister Claire that was actually throwing up that entire night.
Yeah, that was food poisoning though.
And I was just sitting in like the lounge.
Yeah, but you aren't allowed to eat what everybody else eats, so that's why you didn't cop it.
Yeah, like...
Maybe we could do a video on that one day, on life as a renal kid.
Yeah, I was just really expecting to catch a cold quite quickly after the rain and being like at like a theme park that is
Full of people.
full of like water activities. Like we swam with dolphins
That's
in
kinda
the
cool.
rain.
I mean, you're wet anyway, so why fuss over the rain?
But like, I was really expecting to get like a really violent cold like I did in January.
So I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the dog trying to get an itch.
Yeah, like I got really sick last year in January and we have no idea what caused it. And I was really expecting...
Because you had the fistula by then, so it's not like it was an infection from your ports or anything. Because that's how you used to get sick, was your ports and the plastic.
Yeah, that, like, I was really expecting to be like looking like death that entire night, but I was
I mean, you're Scottish, so you know. There's no skin colour in you.
like, no, I literally
I'm sorry for
expected
that.
to
That's
be like
me. That's my genetic.
snotty, coffee,
Yeah.
like, you know how you guys have been. And
Hey,
I was completely fine that night, and I was really expecting to get sick from whatever you guys have had. And
I'm surprised considering, like, you know, even you and I, because we've been stuck in the car so much these last 2 weeks, driving to and from the kids' hospital to do your dialysis and everything. I half expected you to catch what I've been coughing up. But I have tried, like, I've been wearing masks and whatever, where I require, like, in the hospital and stuff, because, like, I don't want to get other kids sick. Like, say what you will about masks. The way I was feeling and the amount of sick kids in that hospital, not going to happen. There's chemo kids, there's kids immune suppressed, there's also just not going to happen. I'm going to, you know, do my part with that. But yeah, like, going back to topic.
Yeah.
From the, you know, we're at a half an hour now. Sorry for the rambles, but you're kind of signing up for the rambles with us too. You're a spicy. It's gonna be awesome. It's sort of church related, I guess.
Sort of.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Like, would you like to see a day in the life of a renal kid, or you know, what's involved with a renal failure kid here in Australia, at least, and how we incorporate our church into it. Like, I mean, we have YouTube channels playing in the car, but I have the phone turned off because Australian rules and whatever, but like it's like listening to a podcast. So I suppose that's one way we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We learned of a new website this week that we're going to check out. I'm going to try and do a video on when we're finished reading the document connected to it. I'm just trying to think what else we had listed on our plans. But yeah, just put in the comments what you want to see from us, and eventually we'll get an actual proper camera, and you won't be relying on my poor iPhone 10 for filming, and getting editing figured out, because at the moment we just film and upload, and I'm sorry, but technology is not our strong suit.
No, I belong like 300 years in the past, in the 18th century.
Oh yeah.
And like, I would prefer to contact all my friends via letter, written with a hot ink and everything. But
Such a nerd.
But iPhones are.
That's something we can do. Is, you know, maybe how we can do like our Comic-Con costumes. Like, we're not going this year because everything exploded on us. But, you know, we're going to spend the next year designing and making our costumes. Making them garment friendly, because what we had in mind isn't necessarily garment friendly, but I like to think I'm a pretty proficient seamstress. I've been doing it literally my entire life.
Same. It's like
ingrained in you kids. It is a good skill to have, especially when you're like our size.
It's a
and finding clothes is really hard for us.
Oh yeah.
That fit us nicely.
Yeah.
And
Now
I think I will actually. I will do a video, and I'll probably have Claire on if she's willing to wear 3 months in of our endowments and wearing garments. So that.
Well, I haven't done mine because I'm not 18 yet.
Yeah, but we're about that. So we might, if she's willing, we might do a video on garments and how we're finding them, especially as we're starting to come into the summer months. And for me as a firefighter, I don't know how much firefighting I'm going to be doing this season, given the dialysis and stuff. But I would like to get on the truck at least once or twice this season. But yeah, just how I don't know how we're finding it all, I guess. And maybe that's what we do with our channel a little bit is, for you, as you're coming back to the church and getting back into the church and that kind of stuff.
I will admit, I think I'll be pretty good with the garments because I am very.
Okay, another video.
Yeah.
Let's close off at 33 minutes, okay?
Yes.
So, like,
Subscribe.
hit the bell, and
Comment down below.
comment down below what you want to see from us, and sorry for the rambling.
We're so sorry.
We'll get there one day, and we will catch you on the next one. So, I'm Alicia,
And I'm Tilly.
and together we are.
Crikey, it's the Mormons.
I love the way you do that. See you later.
Bye.